Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video was prompted by a video that I saw. It was the Jaclyn Hill November favorites video, which was posted on December 15th. So she was talking about the Loving Tan 2-Hour Express Self-Tanning Mousse. I have to say I was really impressed when she started talking about discount codes and how she used to talk about them all the time on her channel, but now she really feels uncomfortable because people always accuse her of being sponsored when she isn't. So that's why she never talks about discount codes anymore on her channel. Now, she did offer one for Loving Tan if you were interested in using it, but I don't know about you, and you can decide for yourself when I show you the clip, but the impression I got was that we wouldn't be hearing about any more discount codes, or at the very least she'd be using them very sparingly, going by the words that came out of her own mouth, namely the word uncomfortable and the fact that she said she never talks about them anymore. That would lead me to believe that yes, she would still have discount codes, but maybe she wouldn't talk about them in her videos, but rather just leave them in her description box for anyone interested.
This is the only thing I use. I've tried a couple other sunless tanners in the past year. Nothing ever holds a candle to this. I always go back to it. Like all the old tanners I used to be obsessed with, I'm like, no, like nothing compares. It is absolutely amazing. I do have a discount code for it. I hate mentioning discount codes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I used to mention them all the time on my channel, and now I never mention them because it makes me feel so weird because people are always like, you're sponsored, you're using a discount code, and no, like I'm not sponsored at all. Like, yeah, I'm an affiliate and I have a discount code because I think this product is the best product ever, and that's just my honest opinion. But I do have a discount code if you do want to save some cash money.
So I'm just curious, and perhaps I misunderstood because...
I'll let you guys know because I don't actually know the exact day that they launch, but you do know I have a discount code with them. Hey, so if you want to save some money, you know I got you, boo.
In that clip, she was talking about the new Morphe eyeshadow palettes that are about to come out, but people were not happy in the comments section of this video as they too were confused with how she had just mentioned being uncomfortable sharing discount codes, and in the same breath she mentions another discount code. Another point that I saw come up a lot, and I've seen it on my own videos, is people saying, I don't understand why people have a problem with influencers offering discount codes as it allows their audience to save money, and I'll go into that further a little later on, but the problem that comes in here is whether the influencer is being honest about their love for a product when they're benefiting from each sale. And by the way, I'm not just speaking of Jaclyn here, I'm speaking of all influencers. This is not just a Jaclyn thing, but I was a little confused by this video, and of course I may have misinterpreted what she was saying, so let me know if you guys thought I was way off in my thinking. This was a huge contradiction. In addition to that, something else she said intrigued me, and I wanted to explain something about sponsored videos, coupon codes, and what the term affiliate means. So you know I pulled those receipts, honey. And while I'm explaining this, I'm just going to show you some examples of sponsored videos and influencers' individual affiliate codes. So let's start with Jaclyn when she says in this video that people accuse her of being sponsored, and she also indicates that she isn't being sponsored by Loving Tan, and yes, technically she isn't, assuming she's telling the truth because it is illegal not to disclose same, and I have absolutely no reason to believe that she's not being truthful. But anyway, for the sake of this argument, we are going to assume that she is being honest. So technically she's telling the truth that she is not sponsored, but she is an affiliate, which she is forthcoming about. I think people don't understand the difference between sponsored and being an affiliate, and I think they also don't realize that there are so many ways to get around the word sponsor, and I'm going to show you. So just to clarify, a sponsored video is when a company pays the influencer to talk about a product in a video. Companies do this because they want what the influencer has, exposure to an audience that fits their product, so they're happy to pay you to talk about it, which sometimes exposes the product to 4 million people in their target demographic. Generally, each company has its own preferences of when they want the product mentioned. If it's going to be in, say, a favorites video, they may or may not have certain words they want the influencer to use when describing the product, and again, it depends on the company. But in these situations, the influencer will be paid a set fee for the video, and it's done. Now, an affiliate is performance-based marketing in which a business rewards the affiliate for each customer brought by the affiliate's own marketing efforts, such as talking about a product and saying they like it. That's considered their own marketing, and then offering you a discount code to use when you purchase that product. and the influencer receives their cut of the sale since they had a hand in selling it. What a lot of people don't know is that this supposed discount is already built into the price, meaning that say you get 10% off a product for using the affiliate's code, that product already had the 10% built into the price, so you actually don't save anything. What happens is that the influencer gets their cut and the company profits the rest. Otherwise, you'd have a product, let's say, being discounted by 10% for the customer, then a further 10% goes to the influencer, and the company actually loses a lot of money. Therefore, they just start out charging 10% more for the product in the beginning so that all they have to do is pay out the influencer's cut and the rest is theirs. But they also have to entice the customer, and they do that by offering this supposed discount, but you're actually just paying the full price of the product. You know what I mean? Like, you think you're getting a discount, but you're actually getting fuck all. Have you ever noticed how close influencers are to certain brands? Have you seen the lavish brand trips these influencers go on? These brands don't need to pay the hefty advertising costs anymore. They have influencers who advertise for them, and it costs them peanuts in comparison to what they'd spend on advertising. Therefore, they can afford to take them to places like Paris and Bora Bora. And having multiple influencers with large followings become affiliates with the company actually works better for the company than traditional advertising, because it's more direct to the target buyer rather than, say, putting an ad in a magazine where many different demographics may be reading, some of which would have no interest in the product whatsoever. To me, throwing an ad in a magazine is like trying to take a stab in the dark, hoping that a product appeals to some readers. You know what I mean? So when companies give beauty influencers an affiliate code to share with their following, it's like direct to the source advertising. Not to mention, the company probably saves a shitload of money this way because print advertising is really expensive. But this is where people get confused. So I've explained the difference between sponsored videos and affiliate codes, and going back to Jaclyn's video, let me clarify. No, the video was not sponsored by Loving Tan, but she would be making a cut of the sales from the people who use her code, and that's when you're going to have to decide for yourself when it comes to the influencer's integrity, because now there's money involved, and we all know how money changes people. Now, let me clear something else up. The word sponsored has a huge stigma attached to it, and there's many ways influencers get around using the word sponsored, because once people hear that word, their automatic response is not to trust the opinion of the influencer. So let me show you what I mean. So we've covered the words sponsored and affiliate, both of which equate to money for the influencer, except the word sponsor is like the devil. So influencers are hesitant to do sponsored videos. Instead, they elect to become affiliates because people get boners when they hear the word discount, that they forget that the influencer is also getting paid. Therefore, their glowing review of a product may be money driven. Also, a discount code is different than an affiliate code. A discount code is usually a generic code anyone can use that isn't specific to the influencer. So if you see codes, for example, like here for the T10, that is likely an affiliate code, and if you see a code like sale 10, that's a discount code where you are saving and the company is profiting. There isn't a third hand in the pot. This example here was taken from Jaclyn Hill's October favorites description box, where she states, "I did not get paid to mention anything in the video," and she was saying that if she did in the future, she would put the FTC claim in there because it is illegal not to. You also notice her affiliate code is highlighted, so we know that while she wasn't paid by the company to talk about anything, this is her own marketing for the company, which will earn her a cut of the sale from anything her code was used on. So it definitely benefits her to talk about these products in her video. Okay, moving on. Influencers like to get a little crafty when it comes to how they word things and the placement of the words sponsored and ad in their description box so that it's not so obvious. So let me give you an example. This is Shan XO's description box from her fake tanning routine for Loving Tan. Now, in highlight, you can see that she says, "I'm making no money off this code for those who are concerned. Loving Tan is my sponsor, and I stand behind it 10,000%. She also goes on to say that she has mentioned this tan in her videos without being paid. So let me dissect this for you. So what she's really saying here is that she's not making money off her discount code, but the video was sponsored. So she kind of does it in like an undercover way, whereas like right at the top of her description box, it says, "I'm making no money off this code for those who are concerned," which I'm sure is true. But if you scroll right to the bottom, she does indicate that the video is sponsored. So she kind of gets off on a technicality if you think about it. So she makes it like very clear at the beginning that she's not getting paid by the code, but it doesn't mean that she's not sponsored. So while she does comply with the FTC law, that first line could be a little misleading, conveniently placed at the top of the description and the fact that it's sponsored way down at the bottom. So this is what I mean. You really have to pay attention to the wording in the description box because, like I said earlier, they get very crafty when it comes to the wording they choose to use and the placement of certain words in the description box because they don't want you to think that they're being paid for it in any way because A, you either won't use their code, B, you won't buy the product to begin with, or C, you won't trust them at all. So here's another example from ShanXO, and she gives the discount code where you get a free deluxe applicator mitt, and she also indicates at the bottom that the video was sponsored by Loving Tan, but she says, and this drives me so crazy, when influencers say, "All opinions, words, thoughts are mine as usual." Well, I don't know any video that has been sponsored by a company where the influencer will just talk shit about the product. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. See, and one of the issues that companies may run into when they have all these people running sponsored posts or discount codes, affiliate codes, whatever it is that when somebody does genuinely love the product and they make a video about it, they get accused of being sponsored when it actually is, you know, their true feelings. So this example is Kathleen Lights, and at the bottom she puts the disclaimer that it is not sponsored. Another way that you can decipher whether or not a video is sponsored is that if they have other products in the same sort of category in that video, you know that it's not gonna be a sponsored video from a company when they're talking about other companies that sell the same sort of product as them. So in this video, Kathleen Lights mentions a couple different tanning products, and I believe that these are genuinely her feelings, but I'm sure that she would be accused of being sponsored when I don't believe she was. So not only does she indicate that the video was not sponsored, there are also no discount codes. So I believe this to be a genuine review. These companies just oversaturate the market, and it just leads you to believe that everything is sponsored and that you don't even know what to think anymore. Another example I found was Lustrelux, and she talks about a few different tanning products in her video, so it's highly unlikely the video is sponsored by Loving Tan because they wouldn't want competing products in the same video. She also talks about not liking Loving Tan's tanning mitt applicator, which is a no-no in a sponsored video. She also indicates that the video is not sponsored and there are no affiliate codes. So again, that leads me to believe that she is truthful in her review. So if you're looking for honest reviews on YouTube, which can be really difficult these days, these are just some tips that you can use to weed out the biased opinions from the unbiased opinions. Another tip you can use is that literally when every single influencer and their vagina is doing a fake tan routine using the same wording and offering the exact same discount, which seems to be a free mitt for some reason, you can bet that that's going to be a biased opinion. Also look out for things like this, like #ad, because it's smaller and less noticeable than the word sponsor, but yet in the video she does clearly say that the video is sponsored. And wow, I used to watch this girl all the time, but I stopped watching because her channel just became like ad after sponsored video after sponsored video, and the discount codes were coming out of her asshole, so I stopped watching her, and it's kind of sad because I enjoyed her content, but I just couldn't trust a thing she was saying. Another misleading term influencers use is in partnership. Now, in partnership still means sponsored, so don't be fooled by that. And my second last example is another YouTuber who uses very similar wording to ShanXO, which I talked about earlier. So she states the video is sponsored, but she doesn't make any money off her discount code. But again, can you really trust this review considering it's being paid for by the company? She also uses a line about her opinion being her own and blah, blah, blah. But that whole argument is a bunch of BS to me, especially when the video is sponsored. And the very last example I have, and I'm gonna be honest and say that this is my own speculation going off what I've seen with all these influencers' discount codes for this one company. So here is Jaclyn Hill's affiliate code, which she was honest about, but what I noticed right away is that she is the only one that has a 10% off coupon. Everyone else has a free tanning mitt when their code is used. Could this be because she's the Jaclyn Hill and told the company that offering a tanning mitt to her subscribers would just look ridiculous and cheap, and she fought for a better discount code for her subscribers? Or does that 10% mean that she's going to receive a bigger cut of the pie due to her popularity and massive following? You decide for yourself. But just in closing, guys, my opinion is that if you have a great company and a great product, the product will shine on its own without the help of an influencer. And if you're somebody that doesn't want to take chances with your hard-earned money, shop somewhere like Sephora or Nordstrom, where they have amazing return policies and you can actually try the product for yourself rather than listening to somebody else. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. I hope that you learned something about affiliate codes and sponsored videos. And please don't forget to leave your opinion below about the Jaclyn Hill video where she contradicts herself. Did I take that the wrong way? Let me know. And also, if you haven't entered my giveaway, you really should, because it closes on the 22nd at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I will leave the video below outlining all the prizes and the rules and whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys again soon in my next video. Bye!